more affordable private insurance options through state exchanges that promote competition and transparency and better deals for consumers. Parents of children who suffer from a pre-existing condition can finally breathe a sigh of relief too. Parents like Dawn Josephson of Jacksonville, Florida. And Dawn's self-employed, so she buys insurance on the individual market. And her son Wesley, who I had a chance to meet, he's adorable. He has an eye condition that demands frequent surgeries. So in the past, insurers have excluded important benefits from Dawn's plan. As her premiums soared, she called around last summer, after the Affordable Care Act had taken effect, to find any plan that would cover Wesley. So she finds a company, it's offering her a reasonable rate, but out of habit, Dawn's ready for the runaround. She says, "What's not covered?" And the insurer says, "No, you're covered. Everything's covered." And Dawn says, "I'm not being very clear here. What about my son?" And after going back and forth a few times, the insurer made it clear. He said, "No, your son is covered. We can no longer exclude pre-existing conditions for children." Imagine what that felt like. Imagine the relief that comes with knowing the treatment for your sick child no longer has to threaten the dreams you've worked a lifetime to build for him. You're not going to have to make these heartbreaking choices. That's happening now. Millions of young Americans can stay on their parents' plans until they turn 26. Millions of older Americans are receiving better access to preventive services and more affordable prescription drugs. We've torn down the barriers that stood between the American people and their doctors, so that inside your network, you can see the primary care physician, the pediatrician, the OBGYN of your choice. And you can use an emergency room outside your network without your insurer sticking you with extra charges. As of last fall, every American who buys a new plan can access preventive care like mammograms, immunizations, and prenatal care to get and stay healthy for free. And all this information about the new choices and new rights available to you is available in one simple place, healthcare.gov. You can even log on, plug in your zip code, and compare prices for different insurance, private insurance plans. Right now you can do that. And this is all before we set up the exchanges that will allow 30 million Americans to get access to care and will allow small companies to finally get the same deal that big companies get, and people being part of a big pool that gives them a better deal across the board. Now, as important as what is happening right now is what isn't happening right now. You may have heard once or twice that this is a job-crushing, granny-threatening, budget-busting monstrosity. That's about how it's been portrayed by opponents. And that just doesn't match up to the reality. I mean, this thing's been in place now for 10 months.